Yes. So now let us discuss problem number 6. Till now we have discussed 5 problem from income from salary 16 marks. So sixth one. Let us see now. Mr. Krishna received a net salary of 1 lakh after the deduction of the following. So now they have given rent of a bungalow, that is 6,000, professional tax 1,800, income tax 7,200, LIC premium 15,000, RPF contribution, that is by the employee or the SSE or Mr. Krishna, that is 18,000. So now we are calculating taxable salary. So for the purpose of calculation of taxable salary, we want before tax amount. This is after deduction. We want before deduction what was his salary. So how to get the before deduction salary? You have to add all these things to this net salary. See this? To this 1 lakh you have to add all these things. Rent of a bungalow, professional tax, income tax, LIC premium, RPF contribution. If you add all these things, you will get your salary or basic salary or salary before the deduction. So after that, you have to see the adjustment. See this now one by one adjustment we have to see. The company provided furnished house, the fair rental value of which is 40,000. So now we know here there is a rent-free accommodation. Rent-free accommodation they have given furnished house of which fair rental value is given, that is 40,000. Higher charges amounted to 550 per month. No other information. So we'll assume that company is owning the house or the employer is owning the house. So whenever employer is owning the house, what is the rule for our this one RFA, rent free accommodation? Can you tell me what is the rule now? Population is not given here in this question.
So we should take 15%, no sir?
Yes, 15%. So we have to take here 15% of the salary because no information here given regarding the population. So we'll take 15% of the salary. Then after that, higher charges amounted to 550 per month. This we have to add to the RFA value. Hiring charges. Yes, 550 into 12 we have to do. Then the company provided 1.4 cc car. Cc means now cubic capacity. So 1.4 cc means whether it is a big car or a small car.
Small car.
Small car. Why it is a small car? Because it is less than
Less than 1.6.
1.6 cc. Yes, that is why it is a small car. After knowing that it is a small car, we have to see who is owning the car. Here, who is owning the car?
Company.
Company. Employer. Employer is giving the car to employee. So company is owning the car. Expenses are met by company. So that is also very important. Expenses are met by whom? Whether it is met by the employer or whether it is met by the employee. And last thing we have to see what is the purpose for which car is used. So here the purpose is for both the purpose, that is personal as well as for business purpose or official use. In that case, we have to remember statutory limit amount. So what is the statutory limit amount here? Can you tell me the statutory limit amount?
1,008.
1,800. 1,800 is our statutory limit. When the car is a small car and owner is employer, expenses are met by employer, and 2,400 if car is a big car and owner is employer and expenses are met by employer. So similarly, there is one more case. Now, owner of the car is employer, expenses are met by employee. In that case, can you tell me for small car what is the statutory limit? Anuj, Anumanta, Dayanand, Shravya, can you tell me now? What is the statutory limit?
Repeat sir once again.
Owner
Question.
of the car is employer. Expenses are met by employee, and car is a small car used for both the purpose.
It is 600, I think.
Yes, 600 per month. That is correct answer. 600 per month when it is a small car, and 900 per month when it is a big car. So this is when only when the expenses are met by employee and owner is employer, and if driver is given, then you have to add 900 per month separately. So that you have to consider. So after this, next adjustment we have to see. It is also met with it is also met the electricity and water charges, which amounted to 1,800 per annum and 1,200 per annum respectively. EA they have mentioned. So for 1 year, electricity and water charges are paid by the company. So this amount should we take or not? Can you tell me for the purpose of taxable salary?
We should take, sir.
Yes, we have to consider this one. We have to consider, and why we have to consider? So any amount which is paid by the employer, we have to add back to the salary. Add back to the salary in order to get the taxable salary. Next thing, salary of watchman and gardener amounting to 600 per month and 700. So there is a correction, 700 per month. Only M is written, 700 per month respectively were paid by the company. So for electricity and water charges it is per annum for 1 year, and watchman and gardener it is per month. So into 12 you have to do. So 600 into 12 and 700 into 12. So all these things are what? Can you tell me now? What are these things? What is it called? All the facilities given by the employer to employee. Can you tell me?
Taxable perquisite.
Yes, taxable perquisite. It is called perks. So that you have to remember, and format you have to show separately. Then next thing, the company
Taxable perquisite.
yes, taxable perquisite. Then the company contributed equally to the provident fund. See, this is now very important. The company contributed equally to the provident fund. Only this information is given. But we want, as per the rule, we know that is RPF contribution by the employer. Anything in excess of 12% of the salary, it is exempt from tax. So we know anything more than 12%, anything less than 12%, it is exempt from tax. Anything more than 12%, it is taxable. So now they have not given the percentage in this question. They have not given the amount. So how to calculate? Can you tell me? Can you tell me now? Anyone?
Year contribution is there.
Ah, yes. So here employee contribution is given. See this employee contribution RPF.
So
Just tell
same,
me. Then
same the company also contribute.
hmm.
So that we should compare with 12% of salary when we add all the back.
Yes, correct. So here employee contribution we know 18,000, and they have said what a company also contributed equally to the provident fund. That means company also pays this amount. Approximately this amount company also pays, but we have to see 12% of the salary is what. But for the purpose of RPF, what do you mean by salary? What do you mean by salary for the purpose of RPF? Basic plus
Basic plus DA plus percentage of turnover.
and taxable allowance. Should we take taxable allowance?
No, sir, that is for rent-free accommodation.
Rent-free accommodation. So for PF calculation, only basic plus D and DP, if only if it enters the retirement benefit, then we have to consider. And for RFA, you can take all the things, all monetary emoluments as well as taxable allowance we can take, and D and DP only if it enters retirement benefit, then only we have to consider. So here if you see, we know that 18,000 is employee contribution. So while solving in the main format, we have to see whether the amount is less than this one or more than this one. If it is less than 18,000, then whether we will get the taxable amount or not, can you tell me? Whether we will get the taxable amount. If it is less than 18,000, 12% of the salary.
Yes, sir, we will get.
Yes. So only when it is more than 18,000, in that case we should not write. So that you have to remember. Whenever the value is less than 18,000, we will get the excess amount. So that is taxable amount we will get. Now next thing, provided free lunch. Free lunch is given during the office hour, averaging 60 per lunch for 300 days. So now, what is the exemptable amount for lunch?
50 rupees per day.
50 rupees per day. So that is correct one. Correct answer. So 50 rupees we have to deduct from the actual amount. So what is the actual amount given here? 60 rupees. 60 minus 50, you will get 10. So 10 into number of days. For how many days here? 300 days. If you do, you will get taxable lunch provided during the office hour. Next, during the year, he was sent to refresher course for 15 days and company paid 5,000 towards the same. So whether it is taxable, refresher course, whether it is taxable, Ravya, Suraksha, Dayanand, Anuj, Hanmanta, tell me. So refresher course, who is giving the salary? Whether suppose one employee goes to the refresher course, then who is giving him the amount? Whether his employer will pay the amount or someone else? Just tell me whether it is taxable or not. Refresher course. See, this one we have to see now. During the year, he was sent to refresher course for 15 days and company paid 5,000 towards the same. It is exempt from tax. Refresher course, it is exempt from tax. So that we have to see while solving the problem. The last one, he took a vehicle loan of 2 lakh at 7% and 12,000 as interest. So vehicle loan interest, again we have to find the taxable interest. How to get the taxable interest? Can you tell me? Vehicle loan principal 2 lakh interest given separately. You want taxable interest. Yes, tell me how to calculate.
Sir, can you show the question, sir?
Yeah, I will show. See this. He took a vehicle loan of rupees 2 lakh at 7% and paid 12,000 as interest SBI rate, State Bank of India rate at 10%.
So that 3% is taxable, sir.
Yes. So
10
first we
minus
have to do
7%.
difference in percentage we have to find out. So SBI rate we have to take as a main rate because it is a SBI we know scheduled bank. So 10%. What is the rate at which the loan is taken? 7%. So 10 minus 7% if you do, you will get 3%. So now we have to do cross multiplication. How to do the cross multiplication? For 12,000, it is a 7% rate of interest. For 12,000, it is 7% rate of interest. For 3%, how much? Can you tell me? Just we have to calculate now. What is the amount? 12,000 into now 3 by 7. 3 comes in the numerator, 7 goes to the denominator. 5,142.85. Whether this is correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you have to do cross multiplication. Then you will get the amount for interest taxable. Then next thing, the company gifted him a TV set. That is 35,000. Whether this is taxable? TV set 35. For this you have to
It is taxable.
yes, it is taxable, but there is a exempt. This one limit is there. Above which it is taxable.
Ten
Can you
thousand
tell me the
limit.
limit?
10,000, no, sir. Limit.
Limit is 5,000. 5,000, right? Limit 5,000. If the perquisite value is in the form of gift, if it is more than 5,000, then it is taxable. And if you receive the gift from employer side, it is taxable. So you have to take entire amount here. EV set entire amount is taxable more than 5,000. So now next thing, ATC, some of the ATC conditions they have given. He paid 4,000 to ULIP. So ULIP, what do you mean by ULIP now? Full form ULIP. What is the full form of ULIP? Just tell me. Unit linked. Unit linked insurance plan or policy. So whether it is eligible for ATC, ULIP, employee contribution towards ULIP, whether it is eligible for deduction under ATC. Just tell me, Shravya, Anuj. Yes, Anuj, tell me now. What is the maximum amount of deduction that SSC can claim under ATC?
1,50,000.
1,50,000. So this ULIP, whether it is a notified scheme of government.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So whenever it is a notified scheme, you can claim the deduction. That means SSC can reduce its tax liability. So this is eligible. ULIP is eligible. Next thing, 15,000 to PPF. PPF, Public Provident Fund. Whether it is eligible. Contribution by an employee to PPF. ATC. Eligible or not? Interest is not eligible. See this, any type of interest, RPF interest accrued not eligible. Then similarly, if there is PPF interest also, it is not there. Only the contribution, SPF, RPF and PPF contribution by the SSC, that is eligible for deduction. So this one you have to take 15,000 ATC deduction. Next one, invested 20,000 in NSC. NSC, National Saving Certificate. Whether this will come now, can you tell me? NSC, ATC eligibility, NSC.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so you have to take this one, NSC, and interest accrued, that also eligible. Interest received, not eligible. Interest matured, whether it is eligible. Interest matured on NSC. Interest matured on NSC, whether it is eligible or not. Just tell me. Accrued is eligible, we know. Accrued is eligible, we know. Then, just tell me now. NSC matured, whether it is eligible for ATC. It is not eligible. See this, only NSC interest accrued is eligible and invested in NSC, National Savings Certificate, that is eligible. And ULIP and PPF, that is also eligible for ATC deduction. Maximum limit we know, that is 1,50,000. So this is our problem now. This is our 16 mark problem. So now one by one we have to do the format, and as per the format we have to compute the taxable salary. So now let us see the format. So now let us see the format. Compute the taxable salary and deduction under ATC. This is our question. So first we have to do the calculation of taxable salary. Computation of taxable salary of Mr. Krishna for the assessment year 2020-21. Particulars and two amount column. Particulars and two amount column. First one, net salary. Why net salary? Because in the question they have given net salary. See this. Net salary 1 lakh. So same thing you have to write. Net salary 1 lakh in the inner column. Why? Because we want before deduction what was the salary. So add all these things. Rent of a bungalow, professional tax, income tax, LIC premium, RPF contribution. If you add all these things, 6,000, 1,800, 7,200, 15,000, 18,000, you will get salary before deduction, that is 1,48,000. 1 lakh plus all these things. So from where we got all that information? See this. After deduction, they have said, so after deduction you are getting 1 lakh. So we want before deduction means you have to add all these things, isn't it? 6,000. So everything you have to add, all the 5 information. So now it is very clear. So now we got before deduction what is our salary. So next thing we can write here, contribution made by the employer to RPF. So employer's contribution to RPF, that comes under main format. Anything excess of 12% it is taxable, we know. Employee contribution to RPF. Where it will come? Employee contribution to RPF. Can you tell me whether it is
Can you
taxable?
repeat the question, sir?
The employer's contribution to RPF is there, right? Employer's contribution to RPF. So in excess of 12% of salary, that we can write in the main format. So similarly in the question they have given this information. See this employee contribution. Where we
That
can
will
write
come as a deduction from ATC, sir.
ATC. Yes. So ATC deduction we can claim. So under ATC you can consider that information also. RPF contribution. So now employer's contribution to RPF in excess of 12% of salary. First we want salary. Salary for the purpose of RPF is basic plus DA or DP if it enters the retirement benefit. In this question they have not given DA or DP. So only we know what is the basic, or before deduction what was the salary, 1,48,000. So this 1,48,000, on that you take 12%. If you take 12% on 1,48,000, you will get 17,760. But if you see the employee contribution to RPF, it is 18,000. Now we got the amount less than this value. And they have also said in the question, the company contributed equally to the provident fund. So it is very clear whenever the amount is less, so just deduct from the original amount. See this 18,000 minus 17,760. If you do, you will get a taxable employer's contribution, that is 240. So why we are doing like this? Because we know employees paying 18,000 for RPF and employer is also paying 18,000 for RPF, because equal contribution. Both the parties are paying equally and they have not given what is the percentage. That is why we have done like this. If they will give you like 13%, 14% or 15%, then we can easily calculate, isn't it? Suppose in the question they have given 15% employer contributes to RPF. So now how to calculate? 15% employer's contribution to RPF. What is the taxable amount now? How to calculate the taxable RPF contribution?
In excess of 12%
Hmm.
is taxable.
In excess of 12% is taxable. So here 15% means 3%. 3% in excess. So that we can take as a taxable amount. So that also you can do. So now we got 240 as the amount, taxable amount. Next thing, interest on RPF. Interest on RPF in this question they have not given. If it is given, then what is the rule? Interest on RPF.
It is exempt up to 9.5%.
Yes, it is exempt up to 9.5%, and anything more than that we can give the tax. So for example now 10%. So there is one interest, 20,000 interest. 20,000 interest, 10% they have given. So how to calculate the taxable amount now? So just we will calculate one example and we'll see. 20,000, 10%. Can you tell me the amount, taxable amount? 20,000 into
1,000, sir.
1,000 into, so 0.5, 0.5 divided by 10. Yes, 1,000. Correct answer. So how we got that 1,000? Can you explain, Dayanand?
So 10% minus 9.5%,
Hmm.
you get 0.5.
0.5.
Then cross multiplication.
Cross multiplication. Yes. Original rate 10%. For 10% it is 20,000 interest. For 0.5 how much? Cross multiplication. If you do, you will get the amount as 1,000. So now here it is not given, so no problem. So we'll directly move on to value of perquisite. So value of perquisite, first one, RFA, rent-free accommodation. Again, population is not given. We'll assume that the house is owned by the employer. House is owned by the employer. So here 15% of the salary we have to take. So 15% of salary for the purpose of RFA, that is basic, plus D or DP if it enters the retirement benefit, any monetary emolument such as a bonus, commission, that also you can consider. Then all the taxable allowance, that also you can consider if it is given. In this question not given, so directly 1,48,000 into 15% if you do, you will get RFA value, taxable RFA value, that is 22,200. So 22,200 is taxable RFA value. And what about this one? Fair rental value. Whether we can take this information, 40,000. Fair rental value. Can we take fair rental value? Just tell me, can we take fair rental value? So as per our rule, it is not given. Fair rental value, nowhere it is mentioned. We can take the fair rental value. Only thing we have to see who is the owner of the house, then whether population is given, then 15% if 25 lakh or more than 25 lakh population. If it is between 10 to 25, then it is 10%. If it is less than 10 lakh population, then 7.5%. And sometimes owner is not employed. So in that case, what you have to do, 15% of the salary or rent paid, whichever is low, you have to consider. So here in this question, nothing is given. So directly we can take 15% of the salary. So answer is 22,200. Yes, higher charge. Higher charge. So that is 550 per month. So 550 per month. For what they are talking about these higher charges? For what purpose these higher charges they have given? Can you tell me?
That furniture, sir.
Furniture, yes. See here they have given furnished house. It is not an unfurnished house. It is a furnished house. So higher charges they have given. So we can take. If they give only the cost of the furniture, let us assume 55,000. In that case, what we have to do? 55,000 cost of the furniture. Higher charges is not given.
10% of that, sir.
Yes.
So 5,500.
5,500. 10% of cost of furniture, then we can take. So in this question, only higher charges is given. Directly you can consider. If higher charges and cost of furniture both is given, then we have to take this higher charges only. So now total 22,200 plus 6,600. So now taxable value of rent-free accommodation is 28,800. So from that, one more information you have to deduct: rent recovered from SSE or a rent of a bungalow. See this rent of a bungalow where they have given the information 6,000. First sentence they have given rent of a bungalow. So this rent is paid by whom? Who is paying the rent here? Rent of the bungalow? Mr. Krishna.
Mr. Krishna.
Mr. Krishna, SSE is paying. So anything recovered or anything got from the SSE, any amount recovered from the SSE, that you have to deduct from RFA. So 28,800 minus 6,000 less rent of a bungalow. So final RFA taxable value, that is 22,800, we have written in the outer column after all this calculation. Next thing is about motor car. Motor car, we know that in this question it is a small car, 1.4 cc, owner is employer, expense are met by employer, statutory limit is 1,800. So directly 1,800 into 12, if you do motor car value, that is 21,600. Driver, whether it is given in the question, driver for car, whether they have given.
Not given.
Not given. If they give, then you can add 900 per month for driver's salary. That is again as per the limit, statutory limit. Then electricity and water charge, they have given per annum in the question. So directly write this amount paid by the company or the employer, 1,800, 1,200 directly. These are also perquisite. So you can write directly this information. Then salary to watchman and gardener, 600 and 700 per month they have given. See this per month. So into 12 you have to do. Into 12, 600 into 12, 7,200. Salary of gardeners, 700 into 12, 8,400. Next, free lunch. Free lunch, if you see 60 per day, 60 per lunch, and it is for 300 days. That is now exemptable limit is 50 per lunch. So 50 rupees is exempt. Up to 50 it is exempt. More than that taxable. So what you can do? 60 minus 50. 60 minus 50. If you do, you will get 10. 10 into number of days. 300. Given in the question. So that is 3,000. So that is taxable free lunch. Then refresher course expense. It is exempt from tax. I have already told. So that you have to exempt. Then vehicle loan. Vehicle loan, you see, exempted up to difference to the SBI rate of interest. So here vehicle loan interest, we are talking about vehicle loan interest. So where that information is given, vehicle loan, where they have given vehicle loan, whether vehicle loan information is given here in this question. Can you tell me? I'm not finding that
That
information.
2 lakh loan is there, no, sir.
Yeah, where that went? In this question, I'm not finding.
It was in the last part, sir.
Last part.
That 7% is 12.
So now it is not showing. Why? The loan is there, loan is 2 lakh, and that is missing here. So can you see this one once again, whether you can find the information anywhere in this?
Not there, sir, now.
Not there. Yes. So now I will add the question. See this, now I will add here after TV set. After TV set, he took he took vehicle loan. Vehicle loan of 2 lakh. of 2 lakh at 7%, and pay 12,000 as interest, 12,000 as interest, in bracket SBI interest, SBI rate at 10%, at 10%. Yes. So this was actual question. So now I have added this one. See this. Yes. Now you can calculate vehicle loan interest. So how to get the vehicle loan interest taxable amount? 12,000 is a vehicle loan here. 12,000 is a vehicle loan. So 12,000 into difference in percentage. What is the original rate at which the loan is given? 7%. What is the SBI rate? 10%. What is the difference in rate? 10 minus 7%. That is 3%. So now what you have to do? Cross multiplication. For 12,000 interest, percentage rate, original percentage rate is 7%. For 3%, how much? So if you do like that, you will get like this. See this, 12,000 into 3 comes in the numerator, 3 divided by 7, 7 goes to the denominator while you do cross multiplication. So that amount you will get here 5,143. Yes, have you understood this one, vehicle loan? Have you understood the vehicle loan part? Any doubt regarding the vehicle loan? Hanumanta, Anuj, Anvit, Dayanand, Shavya, Suraksha, tell me.
No doubt, sir.
Yes, I hope everyone understood this one. So others are not replying. So I don't know why. Anuj, are you there? Yes. So after that gift, see this gift information TV set. Gift information TV set, that is 35,000. Anything more than 5,000, it is fully taxable. So any form of gift more than 5,000 in the form of perquisite, so gift is taxable entire amount 35,000. Now finally we have to get gross salary. How to get gross salary? Add all the amount whatever we have written in the outer column. So first thing we have to add here, first thing is salary, 1,48,000 plus 240 employer contribution excess of 12%. Then RFA, rent free accommodation taxable amount, that is 22,800. Motor car 21,600. Electricity 1,800. Water charge 1,200. Salary of watchman 7,200. Salary of gardener 8,400. Free lunch 3,000. Vehicle loan taxable amount 5,143. Gift 35,000. If you add all these things, you will get gross salary as 2,54,383. So from gross salary, there are deduction now. Deduction under section 16. One is standard deduction. Standard deduction is 50,000 for all the type of salaried SSC. So that is fixed 50,000 we have to consider. Second one is professional tax. Professional tax in this question, whether they have given professional tax information. See this, professional tax 1,800. So here professional tax up to 2,500 for 1 year we can allow as a deduction. That is usually it is 200 per month. 200 into 12, that is 2,400. Of course it is less than 2,500. So in this question they have specifically given 1,800. Anyway, no problem, directly we can take. See this, less from gross salary, less you have to minus deduction under section 16. Professional tax 1,800, first one we have deducted. Then standard deduction fixed 50,000. So now total deduction from gross salary, that is 50,000 plus 1,800, that is 51,800. So now we want a taxable salary. How to get taxable salary? Gross salary minus deduction, 2,54,383 minus 51,800. If you do, you will get 2,02,583. This is our taxable salary. Yes, now we have done one part. So now next thing we have to do here, ATC, because in the question they have asked compute the taxable salary, also the deduction under ATC. So either you can show in the main format immediately below the taxable salary, or you can show the deduction separately. Separately you can do. So if you do separately, it is better. So now deduction under ATC. So ULIP, we know it is eligible. So all the eligible amount you have to write. If it is not eligible, then you have to write it is not applicable or not eligible. So now there are three columns. One is particular and two amount column. So ULIP, it is eligible for ATC. 4,000 we have written. From where this information we are talking? See this last sentence they have given. ULIP 4,000. Next PPF, it is 15,000 contribution by the employee to public provident fund. It is also eligible. Investment in NSC, that is also eligible. So that also we have written. See this PPF 15,000, NSC 20,000. Then interest on NSC accrued. It is also eligible for ATC 6,450. Next one RPF contribution. So usually this one we will miss. That you have to see carefully. RPF contribution. Why? Because here they have not mentioned. In the last sentence for ATC they have given. There they have not mentioned. But if you see the problem carefully, here you know RPF contribution done by the Mr. Krishna is given. That is 18,000. It is eligible for ATC. So now ATC total we want. What is the total of ATC? If you add all these things, you will get the total amount of deduction under ATC, that is 63,450. So now sometimes the amount will be more than 1,50,000. In that case, what you are going to write? Suppose 1,65,000 amount. Then
Maximum restricted to 1,50,000.
yes, like that you have to write. So in the outer column you have to write 1,50,000 only. So not more than that. And now last one question. See this now taxable salary is 2,02,533. So can you tell me the final tax liability on which SEC has to pay the tax? So that is not there in this question. You can calculate still. 2,02,583. Then
1,39,133.
yes, we'll see that 2,02,583 minus 63,450. Yes. So that 1,39,130. Isn't it? Same answer, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. So on this amount, Mr. Krishna has to pay the tax. So this is his tax liability. So I hope you understood